So my name is Jessica Rousset. I'm the Deputy Director at the Interplanetary Initiative here at ASU. A little bit about myself. I joined ASU just shy of a year ago now. I was in California, so I'm new to Arizona, still learning the landscape, so very excited to meet many of you here today for the first time. And my career has been in healthcare, life sciences, entrepreneurship, innovation, so I'm also new to the space sector, and also super excited to be part of this sector and this community. So let me tell you just a few words about the Interplanetary Initiative. This is an effort that works across the entire university, and it started about 5 years ago by President Michael Crow and Vice President Lindy Elkins-Tanton, who is also the principal investigator of the NASA Psyche mission. And they came together to think about how can we create a new kind of university entity that will accomplish two main things. One, using space exploration to rethink research and education. And then secondly, how can we drive social and systems level solutions that will forge humans in space in the future. So lofty goals, and the way they sort of coalesced was to think about, in order for us to do this, we need to target big goals, big questions, and we need to engage very broadly, not just the technologists and engineers and scientists, but we need to bring together all human endeavors to make these big goals and aspirations a reality. So our remit is to engage not just the engineers and scientists, but really all the disciplines, the economists, the philosophers, the artists, the social scientists, and everyone in between. And bringing all these folks together, again, to target the big questions. No incremental thinking for us. It's about the big goals, but also not just bringing together people to think about these things, but actually taking action. So I just want to make one comment about the structure of what makes us sort of different in terms of our organization. We are not a tenure home for faculty. So we can't tell anyone what to do. We're 100% collaborative. Everything we do is about engaging new networks around big ideas, big goals that might not be achievable in our lifetimes or multiple lifetimes, and that's okay, but taking tangible incremental steps for making a difference in a way that ultimately can scale. So let me just say a few words about how we organize ourselves around sort of this lofty mission. We think about our activities along two pillars. The first one is empowering individuals to feel connected to their space future, giving them agency, the critical thinking and problem-solving skills that are going to be necessary as we evolve towards becoming a spacefaring species. And so a lot of our educational programs align with sort of this pillar. A lot of our educational programs are student-led, big question-driven, inquiry-driven. We bring a lot of research into the classroom. We also have a laboratory at our Tempe campus, and if you haven't visited it, we'd love to host you. It's by and large it's operated by students, and where they design, build, test, and fly small spacecraft. So it's a really great training environment for our students. And in fact, our first student who's graduating just got a job at Blue Origin to work on the Orbital Reef project, so we're super excited about that. And then the second pillar is broad societal participation. So how do we broadly engage the population around building the systems and structures that will support our interplanetary future? And here we have sort of three buckets of activity. The first one is we do a lot of events, webinars, a lot of public engagement, and our motto is everybody is invited all the time. So we really do look for as many people to participate in our events, and if you want to learn more, you can subscribe to our newsletter and keep track of what we're doing. The second is partnerships. So looking at partnerships that will really impact access to space. And I'll give you one example in a moment that I think really illustrates the kinds of partnerships that we're excited about and that we think align really well with our mission. And then the last piece are research projects. The research projects that we launch using a process called the Big Questions Teaming Process, which Lindy Elkins-Tanton has been developing and refining over a number of years. And this is one of the projects that resulted from this process. And again, I'll tell you about that in a second. But back to the partnerships. ASU's Interplanetary Initiative is the lead on the Orbital Reef project, which is a commercial, free-flying space station that's being developed and will come into existence by the end of the decade, and this is a project with Blue Origin, Sierra Space, Boeing, and others. ASU is not a partner, we're not involved in the design or the building of this, so we're not a hardware partner. Our role is to bring together a coalition of 15 leading universities around the globe to advocate and represent the interests of the academic community to make sure that the promise of these space stations are going to be as accessible as possible to as many of us as possible. So I think that just gives a good exemplar of what we're trying to accomplish through Interplanetary. And just lastly, back to the research projects, that, of course, this is one that we're very excited about. We host workshops where we use this methodology, this big questions teaming process. And again, everyone is invited all the time. So students, faculty, lay people who are just interested in space exploration, industry folks, government folks. So we would love to have you participate if you're interested in some of these workshops. We host at least one a year, sometimes two. People come together, brainstorm the biggest questions, coalesce into teams, and then determine what can we do in a one-year time frame that will inch us towards finding a solution. We hosted one in September. This was a project that resulted from that brainstorming session. We funded it in November. Timmy, Jose, and the team have done incredible work to get us to this really important milestone for this project, which is this event today. So super excited about what we will accomplish together and then beyond. And I'll keep my remarks short because I know we have a lot to get to. So thank you.